Hello and welcome to the pet room. So if you have been following along, you have seen that indeed the dusty, rusty, crusty board is somewhat sort of working, but not quite. Now, and I basically stolen every chip out of the Blue Bezel pet, and what happens now is the machine comes up, but if I hit return, it goes dead. So in remembering that there were 3 of 7 bad ROM chips, I am going to one by one steal the ROM chips from the Blue Bezel pet, if I can. What's going on here? Because when I tested the ROM chips in this, sorry, I would have been in the Blue. I never. All I did was turn on the machine. If the machine came up fine, I said, "Okay, that's fine." But I never did press return. So it may be that, in fact, a ROM chip is also bad. When you had 3 out of 7, it's not hard to imagine something else could be defective. Oh, I see. Hang on. I'm just moving this little light so I can see better. So I'm starting at the left side of the ROM chips. I am pleased that things are sort of getting better. You know what? That doesn't feel right at all. I think what I'm going to do is something else here, which I have done before. I can hang this light. I can. I gotta figure out how. Or maybe I could just hold it. And I can line that side up. And I can line this side up. Or maybe I can line this side. Something does not feel quite so. Okay, there's one pin that looks a little bit off. All right. So the witness mark is in good shape. That's lined up. But it's still showing signs of resistance. Okay, it's in, and as best as I can tell, it's okay. And hopefully the machine will still come up with a cursor, and I will hit return if I can find it. And the cursor still goes away. Okay. So, not that one. Oh, chip puller. So this is the second one from the left. It is. I will examine the pins. They look okay. They do. It's funny. I basically have changed every single chip there is to change, except for the ROMs. And I figure while I'm here, might as well. I mean, I've spent so much time on this so far. Okay, up comes the screen. Press enter. The cursor goes away. Okay. So now we are on the 1, 2, 3. Okay, the 4th from the left. The 4th from the left. Checking the pins. Checking everything. Checking the witness mark. Lining it up. Just so. We're in. I think we're in. We'll turn it on. We should see the screen. I will hit enter. And the cursor goes away. Alright, so now, fifth from the end. And we'll just line these up. Get the last one out. Let's see what's what. I seem to remember this is a common thing, and I don't think it's usually a ROM thing, but literally, I've changed everything else. So I would feel negligent if I did not have a go at the ROMs, especially after there were so many that were defective. And it doesn't take much of anything to be wrong. Like a chip doesn't have to be totally bad to be bad. It can just be a little bit bad. Alright. Why is this giving me grief? Okay. The last one. Let's check the pins. Checking the pins. Checking the pins. Okay. Pins are good. Witness mark is good. Come on. Are we in? We look like we're in. It doesn't look like anything is bent. And up comes the screen, and then of course I will hit enter. And the cursor moves. Okay. Hallelujah. Alright, let's just see here. So this chip, which I can't read, is bad. Oh, yes. I don't like finding bad chips, but, and getting a machine working, it's alright. Oh, we're making fine progress here. Bad. 65. 40. Dusty. Rusty. It was fifth from left. And this is a very... I need to switch glasses. It is 024. 024. So that is a lot of bad ROM chips. Now, okay, bad. Now, let's see here. Shift, run, stop. Now, I think this is also perhaps the machine with a tape drive that doesn't work. I think. So I don't think it's going to find anything, but it is spinning. And indeed, I think by now it would have found something. So I'm going to press run stop. Woohoo! And I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to pop the tape. Put the tape in here. Oh. Open the machine. Pop the tape drive on. Put the leg up. Actually, you know what? I might do this one the same. I might lean this down a bit. Alright, we're up. We can do that. We can press play and then see what happens next. It is searching. Found Commodore. Loading. And if all goes as planned, and it should, it will not take long before this machine. What is that thing? Oh, I know. That's the cassette thing. I don't like doing this. I will do it. I'm unplugging the data set. I don't have any buttons pushed down, so I shouldn't be drawing anything. And I'm not going to plug the other one in. I'm just going to close this down and then leave this to run and run and run. I'm sure now, if I were to press list, I would see the program. Oops. Oh yeah, the R key is not working. Go. Go to 0. There we go. Okay, so we're going to leave this up to testing. So, to summarize, what have I done in the last tortured hours? I did replace the socket for the 6540 that was in the back with a butchered 40-pin socket that I cut. And then I repopulated, and in the midst of repopulating and testing everything, I bent a pin. Actually, I broke a pin off one chip, but that was not the trouble. I bent a pin, I think it was on the 6522, which meant that anything I was trying to test, anything I was trying to do, would never work. Once I got that figured out, I repopulated. The machine came to life, but when you pressed enter or did anything, it would lock up tight. And then, pretty much the last thing of the major chips to test was all the ROM chips. And indeed, there was another bad ROM chip. So that is 4 out of 7 bad ROM chips in that machine. And so what else have I accomplished? I've completely disabled the blue bezel PET. And the board over here, from that came out of this chiclet PET, it's missing a couple of chips, and one of them, well, for the moment, it won't go back in because I broke a pin. And so anyway, there's, it's sort of like, reminds me of a volleyball game where the point gets so crazy and so wild that by the end of it, nobody knows where they're supposed to be, nobody knows where they started, and they're just happy they got the point. Because I've got chips here and there and everywhere. I'm not sure which was in what and what was in what. But the crusty, rusty, dusty circuit board is working, and the little program that I wrote that does the world of Commodore over and over and over is running. It's not in the machine. It's not in the crusty, dusty, rusty machine. to this one. But that will be the next step. And then I guess I can check the keyboard, because I haven't been able to check the keyboard. Oh, it's been a long ride with this machine. I suppose a couple of things I have note to self that I will do the next time. If I do find something like where I can push down and it makes a little bit of a difference, and I will immediately say, you know what, I'm getting that socket out of there. And the other thing when I'm testing ROM chips is just because the machine comes out fine doesn't mean they're fine, as we just found out. So when I'm testing ROM chips and putting things in, I will see if it comes up fine. If it comes up fine, that's fine. I will, at minimum, press return. Note to self. Anyway, I think I've had enough for now. I'm going to let this sit and run and run and run and run and run. And ponder my next move. But that's it for now. So we'll see you again tomorrow, 6 o'clock Toronto time, and we'll see what else I have done. I do think I will have to go and scavenge some chips out of another machine. I will. And certainly I don't have enough ROMs at the moment to keep both of these going, as in the blue bezel and whatever, so I'll have to see about that. But I understand that Rudy's Retro Intel has an EEPROM burner. So maybe there's hope there. I'm sure there's hope there. Anyway, that would not work is working. It is. And that is, as I said when I was yanking out that socket, I just want it to be different. And sadly, sometimes when people say they'll be different, they're worse. But in this case, it's all worked out. So I think, actually, you know what I think I will do? If this phone will come alive. Let's go back and call Rudy. Is that Rudy of Rudy's Retro Intel?
Yes.
Okay, quick message. I am recording.
Okay.
It was a ROM.
It was a ROM.
It was
there
a ROM.
You go.
It was, and of course I started on the left. It was the last one out of the 4. So
yeah,
it's the 024 ROM, which is the 5th from the left. So out in that machine, there were 4 out of 7 that were bad.
Wow.
Because I changed the other 3 one at a time. Same result, same result, same result. Went to that one, pressed return. The cursor did not go away.
And make sure you record the bad ROMs. Like make a list so we can make new ones, and then we know which ones to make.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, I mean, you have 3 of them. I have the 4th. And it's funny, the numbers on the ROM, like they're all 6540 chips, but the way to see which ROM is what, the first 3 numbers are the one. And well, if we're going to do this, I've got to get to the good ROMs too.
Yes, I can copy them.
Yes. So yes. So anyway, 4 of 7. Almost sounds like something out of Star Trek.
4 of 7.
I am 4 of 7. Anyway, so
yes.
So right now in front of me is the dusty, rusty, crusty board in the Chiclet Pet with the data set that doesn't work, but I loaded my little program, Prince World of Commodore, endlessly from the external. I plugged the other data set in, so I know the data set works on the thing. And now I'm just going to let it sit here and torment for a while.
Right.
And at some point I'll try and put other things back together. I may, of course, have to go and steal parts out of a VIC-20 to get things back up and running.
You might.
Because I've ruined the 6522 chip.
Right.
That was the one with the broken pin, which I can try and fix that. But if I fix that, I think I'll make sure that whatever I put it in, I'm never taking it out again.
Right. And the 65 22s are in the VIC, right?
Woohoo!
And the 6520s you can buy if you need a 6520.
Oh, I think I might have one in a machine around here somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
I think I've still got other things to look at. Mind you, when it comes down to it, I want to have as many of them working. So yeah, I may have to if there's things that I just can't find amongst the 39 pets here.
Yeah, but there's a modern replacement, but
yep.
they're about $14.
Oh, that's not terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not terrible. Anyway, so
okay,
that's where we're at.
Well, that's great news.
Well, yes.
Pet down. Working.
This pet has. But I actually, when I was just recording, I did say two things, and that is note to self: anytime you push around and you see something with a socket where it does weird things, don't dick around. Yank out. Don't dick around. Get that socket out of there.
Yes, yeah. If a socket's bad, there's no point. Just replace it.
Yep. And the other thing, of course, is when checking ROM chips, don't just look and see if the machine comes up. Press return and see if the cursor vanishes.
Yes.
Anyway.
But that could be the 6522s, right?
Oh, it can. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oftentimes, if a machine comes up and there's no cursor at all,
right,
that is often the 6522s. But this had the cursor until I pressed return. Anyway, all kinds of fun and frolic.
All kinds of fun.
Anyway, well, I know you've got things to do, and I'm going to let this torment. I have tormented enough over it. I guess the next thing, also, I suppose, what I'll do is, while it's still intact, this board, I'll put it back in its original case.
Yes.
And then I can test the keyboard, and I'll make lots of notes on what it is that's what, and because chances are it's going to be left kind of in a disabled state. But
until you get the ROMs and everything replaced, right?
Yeah. And once again, you know what? I've got to look at some of the other things and see, do I have other ROMs sitting around somewhere that, like there's a machine I got from a former teacher of mine that was, I remember it was in a flood, but I don't know what's working or not, and I'm not sure if it isn't the oldest board. Anyway, we'll see. But yes, I know that Rudy is the EEPROM burning man.
Well, kind of. We have to see if we might need to buy these small little daughter boards that allows you to put a more modern EEPROM.
Oh yeah.
Into the pet. Like, I don't think you can burn the 6540s and then just pump them in.
Well, you know what? It may be that amongst some of these funny old machines that I have other 6540s that were used for something else that are EEPROMs.
Yeah.
That we could blank.
Yeah. Well, no, you can't blank them once they're burnt, right?
No. The EEPROMs you could put under a light.
Yes, if you have the ones, but the ones that you have in the pet, they're not like that.
Oh, no. But see, some of the ones that came with, like, WordPro and Paperclip and other things, they do have the little window.
Yes, those we can copy.
Okay. Well, I'll as you know, I don't throw anything out.
Right. Keep those.
But yes. Oh, yeah. No, I'll look and see. And what I've got. Anyway, that's one of the reasons I decided to fix things while I have them all, is that, well, I'll never have more spare parts around. And as much as it's tragic to, I suppose, like, undo some magical ROM for Paperclip or WordPro or something else, if it's never really going to be used and no one's really interested in it, what the hell?
Well, it's good to have. You never know. Like, I'd be interested in getting those EEPROMs.
Well, you know what? We'll figure. Yes, we'll figure. We will figure.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah. In the meantime, we got to get the other pets working, and then we can worry about all that at the
end. Indeedy. Anyway, so progress.
Excellent progress.
And I'm watching this thing, World of Commodore, World of Commodore, World of Commodore, one character at a time. Remember that hide and seek movie?
Yes.
I kind of recreated the way I did some things in there. Not exactly, but the one thing that I kind of was like, how did I do that? Was have, like, the running cursor at the start of everything.
Right.
And I finally remembered, oh yeah, I know how I did that. So now it's
neat. I saw your video on that.
Oh yeah, it's got World of Commodore running along there. With the little reverse cursor at the start.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my sort of test program. And it's still working. Amen.
Good. Excellent.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stop recording. I think I've had enough.
Excellent. Yeah.
I've had enough torment.
Enough torment.
But it's working.
That's all good news.
I still couldn't believe when I was so careful about putting everything in, and I had the board in my hand to make sure I didn't bend any pins, that I bent a pin.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, now you know you have one down and a couple more to go.
Success delayed, but not denied.
That's right. Well, now you have something you learned from the next ones, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's always a learning process. Yeah. Well, I better go.
Okay, very good.
So I shall talk to you later. Keep me posted.
Okay, I've got another ROM in a bag for you.
Excellent.
Very good.
Okay, bye.
Oh. All right. As I said, I feel like I've been in a volleyball game and I don't know where I'm supposed to be with all these chips lying around here and there and everywhere. But I can't put them all back now. I can't. I'm going to let this test, and I'm going to say, that's it. That's all for now. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely day. And I will ponder my next move. But I suspect this board, while it's still intact, as I said to Rudy, will go back in its original machine. I can test more of that stuff before I start to repopulate the other machines and move on to get more things working and happy. This board inside this machine has been an incredibly long journey, but I will learn from the process. I hope you do too. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye for now. It didn't stop recording.